operations in the Middle East. On the issue of Iran, the news this morning, I know it's early it's still in the United States, a little later in the region, in the Middle East, but we await word on those conversations that are ongoing. There's been some slight progress. I don't want to exaggerate it, but there's been a little bit of movement, and that's good. The fundamentals remain the same. Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. It just cannot. This regime can never have nuclear weapons. And to achieve that, we're going to have to address the issue of enrichment. We're going to have to address the issue of the highly enriched uranium. And then added to this, of course, is the issue of the Straits. Iran is trying to create a tolling system. They're trying to convince Oman, by the way, to join them in this tolling system in an international waterway. There is not a country in the world that should accept that.
Thomas Tuchel has named his England squad. Let's listen to the press conference he's holding.
I can assure every fan in the country that we have 26 100% committed players in camp with us who know their role, who are ready to buy into their role on and off the pitch, and who are ready and committed to the idea of team spirit and being unselfish. The squad, I think, has a significant number of players that will compete for starting minutes and starting places. That gives us also the chance to rotate on a very high level. And a significant number of players who carry the sportive responsibility on highest level. We have a huge chunk of usefulness in the squad. We have 6 players who won titles with the under-21s. We have Kobe, who is still young and has already won his titles. We have Nico O'Reilly on top, who is very young and has already won his medals. We have specialists with us, specialists for all kinds of different scenarios. When we're leading, when we're chasing a game, when we're chasing a result. We always said we want to be a strong set-piece team, so we have specialists for that. And we want to be a strong penalty team. We have specialists for that. And last, and for sure not least, we have a decent leadership group in camp. We have a decent leadership group with us in the World Cup. The leadership group took care and ownership in a very special way from September onwards. They created a culture, they set the tone, they set the standards, created and took care of the standards, and we were very happy with that. And that is why the majority of this team and that this majority of the selection is from the players who were with us in September, October and November. It's important for me to say that I am very grateful to all players who helped us qualify, to all players who had sometimes only one of 6 camps with us. Very grateful. And I tried to show my respect and my appreciation for what they have done in telling them in personal phone calls in the last 3 days about my decision. So I called every player that was at least once with us personally to tell them my decision, even if it was a painful decision or it was a disappointing message. We believe that it has to be delivered from me. I will not go into details, of course, but I tried to explain and explain my decision and try to express my appreciation and respect for the player. No more questions? Good.
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Yeah.
So it's nice to see you, and thanks for explaining that. That's very helpful. You've surprised us again. I want to start with perhaps what we thought was the biggest surprise, and that's Ivan Toney's inclusion. He's played a total of 7 minutes of international football in your 16 months in charge. He wasn't on a lot of people's radar, and yet here he is in your World Cup squad.
Yeah.
Can you explain that to us?
Also a bit of a surprise to us. So, but like I said, when it came down to all different kinds of scenarios, he was back in the picture. I had fantastic feedback from his coach, from his club coach, who was my player, and I have a close connection with him. I had always fantastic feedback about his role there, about his ability, about his fitness. We could see that he still collects the numbers. I think he has very special skills that could help us, meaning the situation, the scenario when we are chasing a result, when we're chasing a goal. I think he can be a very valuable addition to Harry Kane. He can be a presence in the box when we're pushing for a goal. He can take attention of other strikers. He has a natural presence within the box. He's a natural finisher. He can help us with set pieces because he's very strong in the air, very good in using his body, and not to forget, he's a world-class penalty taker. So he ticks some boxes that we wanted to be ticked.
You made it clear again in your opening statement that reputation, big names are not necessarily what matters to you. It's how they fit in the collective. And you've said that consistently, I think, in all your time in charge, to be fair. But there are some world-class talents that are not in this squad that other nations will look at and say, how are Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, Harry Maguire, Trent Alexander-Arnold, etc., Morgan Gibbs-White? How are they not in this squad? How have you left them out? Do you fear leaving their talents out?
Do
you fear leaving those talents at home at all?
How I felt, or how I feel?
Fear?
A fear?
Yeah, do you fear leaving those talents at home?
No, I don't fear, because I'm very confident in the group that we chose and with whom we arrived, with which we arrive. Very difficult decisions, painful conversations, difficult for the players, difficult to explain to the players. But as I said, what we're trying to achieve, we try to achieve as a team, and we try to nominate a balanced squad. If everyone is selected, it was a given that from these 55 players, we have to leave some extraordinary talents, some extraordinary personalities at home. Either way, if we would have picked all these names, some other big 5 names would have been out, and we would talk about these names. So it comes with a job. I like these kind of decisions, even if they took us weeks and sometimes months to clarify the decisions. I think they bring clarity. I think they bring, in the end, a certain edge that is necessary. I tried to explain the reasons for the players. Could they be in camp? Did they do anything wrong? No. Could they be in camp? Yes, 100% sure. But for some of them, it's just the amount of players on a certain position. We didn't want to play the players out of position so much, and we don't want to give them a clear role. And it comes with difficult and maybe hard choices in the build-up to the tournament.
Well, listening to Thomas Tuchel, there was my colleague Hugh Ferris. He's got some explaining to do, it seems. Some people are really not happy with who he's chosen, who he's left out, Hugh.
You spoke to him.
News conference, it may well be that it takes quite a long time to get through some of those questions. It's interesting, if you're a fan of England and you want certain players in, you're not the one that has to reduce it down to 26 names. It is his job to pick those 26, and in doing so, some names will be left out, and those often are the names upon which there is the biggest spotlight. It's often a fan's role to pick about 40 names and forget about the fact that they won't be all able to go. So just a reminder.
Realism. 24 hours in Young China.
The charges coming the same day Amy Bach, the former head of a nonprofit, was sentenced to more than 40 years in prison. She was convicted in a separate scheme that stole nearly $250 million from a program meant to feed needy children during the pandemic. And federal prosecutors estimate the Minnesota fraud scandals could top $9 billion, a figure disputed by Governor Tim Walz.
Well, Memorial Day cookouts will be more expensive this year, no surprise there, but one grocery chain is promising to start cutting prices. Kroger says it's trying to win back customers from Walmart and Costco. It says costs will be to help reduce prices. Meanwhile, Walmart warns it may have to raise prices because of rising fuel costs. Also ahead, what Britney Spears told police during her DUI arrest.
This is what you need to know.
We'll take you straight to where news is happening
and give you what you need to know all in under 10 minutes.
Every day, only on Disney+.
We'll take you to
Paris, Egypt, India, Doha, Ukraine,
Tokyo, Scotland, inside the White House and Capitol Hill, on the red carpet at the Oscars.
Wherever news is breaking,
anywhere in the world,
we'll take you right there.
The top stories, the latest headlines, the viral moments, what everyone's talking about.
What you need to know, all in under 10 minutes.
New episodes streaming every day.
Only on Disney+.
If this were a Hollywood movie, what would be your perfect story?
We'd be lying if it wasn't Premier League or something like that. Why not dream big?
Wrexham is just one step away from the top league of world football.
Make no mistake, it is cutthroat.
Just reminding you to breathe.
We're in with it, big boys now.
I'm in love.
FX's Welcome to Wrexham, now streaming on Hulu. And Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers.
Whenever, wherever news breaks, it's so important to always remember that lives are changed. Here in London, in Buffalo, Uvalde, Texas, Edinburgh, Scotland.
From Poland once again tonight. Thank you so much for streaming with us. Ukrainian refugees here in Warsaw.
Do you think you'll ever be able to go back home? We're heading to a small community outside of Mexico City. Splintered houses and splintered lives. The magnitude of the devastation. You're streaming ABC News Live. Reporting from Rolling Fork, Mississippi. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Raleigh, North Carolina. The U.S. Capitol. Mayfield, Kentucky. Minneapolis, Mexico. Tongass National Forest, Alaska. Getting you behind the stories as they happen. Giving you a front row seat to our world as it plays out in real time. Live. ABC News Live Prime. We'll take you there.
Stream ABC News Live weeknights, America's most honored streaming news program, only on ABC News Live. Streaming free right now wherever you stream your news.
Is this hard to talk about?
Yeah,
Seattle ground, about to take off. It's going to be crazy. I did a kind of a bad thing. So you hijacked the plane? Yeah.
He hasn't owned an airplane before.
How did he get that plane in the airplane? How did no one know?
Hey, you think this thing can do a barrel roll? Trying to figure out how to use the autopilot first.
He's going upside down. Holy! Can we cut the cameras?
This is probably like jail time for life, huh?
There's a bad break for this suspected burglar. He was arrested after getting stuck in a wall. Yes, that's right. Police in Salinas, California heard him calling for help while they were grabbing coffee. He had been trapped there, get this, for 10 hours after falling from a roof. The arch that President Trump wants to build near Arlington National Cemetery is one step closer to being built. The design has now been approved by an arts commission, but the 8-foot base and the lions have been removed. Another commission takes up the project next month. Well, it is back to the drawing board for a proposal to build a women's history museum in Washington. The bill was rejected when Democrats objected to a Republican change, which said only, quote, biological women could be included in the museum. We turn now to Britney Spears speaking to police.
Newly released video shows the moment California Highway Patrol arrested Britney Spears for suspected driving under the influence.
I do smell alcohol coming from your car, okay?
She was pulled over after 911 calls about her erratic driving. She can be seen taking a sobriety test before being cuffed. In a copy of the police report, officers reported the distinct odor of an alcoholic beverage and said Spears told them she had one mimosa earlier in the day. But officers say they found an empty wine glass in the cup holder.
I could drink probably 4 bottles of wine to take care of you. I'm an angel.
Officers say her mood changed from confrontational and agitated to flamboyant and compliant, adding she also appeared to speak with a British accent at times. Spears said she had taken Adderall, Prozac, and a mood stabilizer. Breath tests showed blood alcohol levels, the report said, were under the legal limit. She accepted a plea deal this month after voluntarily seeking rehab and was sentenced to 12 months probation. Her publicist saying she's taken responsibility for her conduct and appreciates the outpouring of support she has received.
Her plea deal includes a substance abuse program. Well, coming up here, Caitlin Clark surpassing LeBron James. Plus, Hooters tries to rebrand.
Security video captures a little girl by herself.
How old are you, sweetheart? She's 3 years old. She's in the parking lot standing here by herself with a pillow.
And she had blood on her. The hair is just sticking up on my arms.
Oh my gosh, there's blood on the front seat.
This teacher of the year just vanished.
Solving the crime comes down to a child.
What actually happened was extraordinary.
2020, tonight on ABC and stream on Disney Plus and Hulu.
911, what's your emergency?
A tornado's coming right at us.
We form a bond stronger than blood, because ours is a family forged in fire.
You're trying to steal my husband.
You stole him first.
Good morning, Lieutenant. Do you have good news to share with me?
I'm surprised. You working with the police?
Well, you know, free coffee.
Got a high-profile murder on our hands. Do we have your attention now?
Our killer was also a sprinter.
See if we can track her down.
Track her down.
You can do this all day?
I'll stop.
I think that's for the best.
Does anyone else hear that?
Hear what?
That's the best compliment I've ever gotten.
I'm gonna cry for the first time in my entire life.
I give you all A pluses. A pluses. What an astute observation. I was just getting to the good part. Hey, calm, Mr. Johnson. You gonna freak kids out.
ABC's David Muir, the most trusted anchor in America, the most watched anchor in America. Thank you for making ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir the #1 newscast in America. Most trusted, most watched. David Muir. You're watching America's #1 streaming news. ABC News Live. Breaking news, exclusives, live reporting. Keep streaming with ABC News Live.
Back now in time to check the polls, and we begin with another big win for the New York Knicks. Oh yeah, go Knicks. And this game was filled with heart. That's guard Josh Hart. He led the Knicks with a career playoff high 26 points in a 109-93 win over Cleveland. And after the game, it was time to talk pizza.
Are you a crust guy? It would depend if it's garlic crust. Or a good crust, like a good crust pizza.
The Knicks have a 2-0 series lead. Gotta have a good slice. And another basketball headline for you this morning, a milestone for Caitlin Clark. She's now surpassed LeBron James in jersey sales. She's only 24 years old. Well, next, the change is coming to Hooters. Yeah, the CEO says the company is rebranding to be more attractive to families. Of course, Hooters has long been known for its Hooter girls and their uniforms. The boss acknowledges that chased away a lot of customers. He says the uniforms are being addressed along with menu changes. Interesting. All right, next, President Trump is supporting the effort to make daylight saving time permanent. Yeah, the House has approved a bill that would do away with the yearly time shifts. The president says changing the clocks is a waste of money, but the bill is still a long way from becoming law. All right, next, an easier way to get concert tickets. And it comes from an unlikely source. Spotify will now monitor your streams and other activity to gauge your music fandom. The app's new reserve service will then determine the most dedicated followers of certain artists and then reserve them 2 tickets for a concert on that artist's upcoming tour. So cool. Well, finally, the hippo and the boy. Yeah, this is so cute. And this adorable video comes from the Milwaukee County Zoo. That hippo appearing to bond with the boy through the glass. The zoo saying there was a hippo connection. Top headlines next.
The child could change the fate of the galaxy.
Is he ready? He will be.
When under siege, a new hero
Good shot, baby.
will rise.
The Mandalorian will die tomorrow.
Go, now. I'll hold them off.
Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu, rated PG-13, now playing in theaters.
I've decided it's my alpha day. I need to send a message that says I am hyper competent.
Someone bring a gurney.
I don't need anyone's help.
What have you done?
I don't love strip clubs, but I can sit at the bar and eat wings.
Are you willing to sacrifice everything for this job?
Gotta stay focused.
Yeah.
They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and evil found them.
The slayings of 2 young people in a nearby Lover's Lane area.
It caused a reign of terror.
It was a mystery.
This is a cold case going nowhere.